Hey, this is Tom Jacobs from tdjacobs.com. I'm an evolutionary astrologer and a channel and an energy worker. And at tdjacobs.com, I have tons of tools to help you in your evolutionary phase, wherever you are: astrology, channeling, meditation, program crystals, all kinds of things, including the Chiron Natal Report, which is new, and also the Chiron book, Chiron 2012 and the Aquarian Age, the key and how to use it, and the Chiron course, which is an audio course where you listen to it at home. And this video is on Chiron, natal Chiron, in the second house of the birth chart. And so I work with Chiron as an energy antenna. Check out the first two videos in this series, Chiron overview, and also Chiron and energy management, to understand, I think it's 20 and 15 minutes respectively, or 20 and 18 minutes, to really get a sense of my unique approach to Chiron, beyond wounded and wounded healer. So Chiron in your birth chart represents a part of life or activities in life where you feel that you're not worth love, or you fear rejection. You might feel you're worthy of rejection, as if you're rejectable, the opposite of lovable. And you may have felt rejected over the course of your life when you, in the second house, act on your value system, the way you earn and use money, how you develop skills, how you approach self-esteem. With Chiron in the second, you're going to have an inner infant who comes up who feels helpless when it comes to money and skills and self-esteem. With all Chiron placements, we have an inner infant who can take over, because Chiron's wound is not the inadvertently injured by a poisoned arrow. It's actually rejection by his mother at birth. So all of our Chiron wounding begins when we're infants, and that part of us isn't able to rationalize and talk and think and talk through things. It's just a fear of losing love. So the second house, as I said, your own value system, living according to your own values. Now, most of us don't have a clear sense of what our values are until we contrast our behavior and lifestyle choices with those of others. So I used this joke recently in a class, so I'll use it again here. Let's say you make a new friend and you're hanging out and things are great. You really kind of hit it off. And then you call the person and says, hey, let's get together on Friday. And the person says, yeah, I just got all this spray paint. Let's go vandalize this school. And you're like, what the hell? Like this, why? And that's not what I'm going to do. You now have this contrast, somebody else's values against yours. So with Chiron in the second house, you might feel a sensitivity and a wound when you live according to your own value system. Now, like I said, that's how you use money, but it's also how you use time and what you put your attention on, what skills you perceive are worth pursuing. Everyone else is learning Spanish, and you're like, I'm learning Mandarin. And everyone's like, why the hell would you do that? Well, this is a joke from 15, 20 years ago, where people could see what a global player China would become when it used to be Spanish was the language to learn. But your values would be a little unique. You might, everyone else might be interested in this version of history, and you're interested in this niche thing that nobody else sees the value in. You are uniquely seeing the value in something. Now, the deal with natal Chiron is that you are hypersensitive to how others see you in this part of life. So in the second house, you're hypersensitive to how others perceive your skills and abilities and your values, and also how you use money. With Chiron in the second, you might not be honest with others about what you spend money on. Not like everybody's running around talking about that all the time, but you might feel an especial fear about having others know what you spend money on. You might be an adult who is investing in a certain kind of, collectible toy or something. Like what you value and what you put time and energy into might not be what others see, or others see value in. So the real deal with any Chiron placement is to validate yourself in the ways that no one else has. When you were a kid, when you were very young, and then it would have repeated a bunch of times as you grew and matured, you felt a wounding to doing what you needed to do for yourself. It looked at the time like, to your baby self who can't reason, right? Who's just a ball of emotions and needs and fears. And the need to, your inner self, that baby needs to feel safe, needs someone else to make you feel safe and secure. It might have looked like if you act on your values and do what matters to you, operate according to your own time frame, for example, take your time. The second house is where we slow down to ensure things work in the way we need them to and to set up survival later. If you go at your own pace, you might have been rejected or criticized to the point that you felt like if you did it, this natural thing for you, you wouldn't be loved and supported. So you felt this wounding. Well, we always make mountains out of molehills with our natal Chiron placements. So if you assert, oh, I'm learning Mandarin, and somebody snickers, part of you thinks that means that there's something wrong with you because you're worth laughing at. So you have to validate yourself in the ways that others haven't. You have to be the parent that you needed. You have to now, sorry, my mouth's a little weird. You have to now be the parent that you as a child needed. Never invalidating anything you need or think or want. Your value system with Chiron in the second is unique. Wherever Chiron shows up in the chart, we have a unique thread of behavior and motivation. So the thing is being hypersensitive to how others react. That's the problem. So when you get past the fear that you may have that you're not worth love and therefore your self-esteem is kind of in the toilet or in the gutter, when you get beyond that wounded healer thing, you have compassion for the fact that you are very vulnerable and perhaps insecure when it comes to asserting your values. You know, when you get to that place, then you can accept that everybody else in truth also has some kind of vulnerability in the same thing, the same part of life, but you're hypersensitive to it. Again, you say, I'm learning Mandarin, somebody snickers. You say, this is how I'm going to use my weekend. Somebody else goes, wow, you're crazy. Well, you won't consider the source and have compassion for that person judging you. You will go straight to, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that because you're hypersensitive. So you have to love yourself in the ways that others haven't. So in all the ways that your values, your skills, what you put your time and energy into, in all the ways that those things are unique, you have to decide it's fine. And you have to accept that even if other people don't get it, you're fine the way you are. So when you do that, you get beyond an attachment to an identification via the wound. Then you can have compassion for the fact that you're always going to be sensitive, but it doesn't mean there's something's wrong with you. So for more info on your own Chiron story, your emplacement, check out the Chiron Natal Report at tdjacobs.com. It will go into your natal house sign and natal aspects, as well as the transits and progressions to your natal Chiron and transits of Chiron to the rest of your natal chart. Again, that's at tdjacobs.com under Natal Reports. Stay tuned for more videos on Chiron and the houses and signs. Take care of yourself.